Okay, welcome everybody. We are 1 minute to time. So this meeting is being recorded. If you don't want your face to show publicly, uh, you can just always use the chat. In the meantime, I'm also waiting for the manager of the events to come on board. I think, okay, she's having some issues. She would be with us, but we would start at exactly 6 p.m. Don't worry. We are on time and we would be ready to go very soon. So welcome everybody. Our guest speaker is here already. Okay, welcome everybody. It's time for us to listen to Titilola, and we would be taking it one step at a time. So first of all, I would like to. Okay, so here's the thing. I will take over for now, and when she comes, she will continue from where I stopped. Okay, welcome everybody once again. First of all, we would like you to put it on the chat where you are calling us from. Um, I can start. So I'm currently in Germany. I'm close to Stuttgart. Um, I'm calling from Germany, and of course, everybody here knows that our guest speaker is calling from somewhere in France, and she will tell us about it later. I can see Richard, who is one of our mentors. I can see Temitope as well. I can see Blessing Peter. Okay. Fatima is here. I would hand over to her then. So I was just welcoming people. That was where I stopped. So you can just take over from there. You're mute. Sorry. I have to ask you, I have to make you a co-host. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Wally, for doing that. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hi, Titilola. It's nice to have you here.
Yeah,
Good
hi.
evening, everyone. I am Fatima, and I'm delighted to welcome you all to today's webinar, themed HackBio to the World. We're taking you to different parts of the world this year. And our first stop is France. You're all welcome. Thank you for taking the time to join us. We're excited to have you here to listen to one of our past interns share a journey with us from internship to international study. And one thing we do at HackBio is that we are focused on career progression. We're not just interested in giving you certificates and sending you your way. Our goal is simple. You finish with HackBio and you move on to the next step of your career. It could be a master's program, a doctorate degree, or you get to work in the industry at strong laboratories or institutions around the world. And that is why today is really important, where you see that it is actually possible for you to achieve your dream from an internship. And I know that as Titilola is speaking, you'll be having questions. So please do well to type them in the chat box so that we can attend to them later. And before that, I would like to ask Wale to continue and basically to tell us what HackBio is all about and the vision behind it. So I wanted to say HackBio continue. Talib, oh my goodness, Wale, please continue.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, welcome everybody. So although I have a little bit more to say about HackBio later on, but for now, I just want to re-emphasize what Fatima said, that HackBio is a platform. It's a learning platform for life scientists to learn technology skills, modern technology skills, with a single purpose of advancing your career. So the goal is that after you are done here, you progress to somewhere bigger, to somewhere you want to be next. That is your next phase, especially if you're in sciences. And this is our priority. Over the years, we have had interns, and we've done this over the years, right? I think this is our fifth year, and we keep we keep getting stronger every year with our population and with our impact globally and around the world. So we have alumni from probably every country in the world by now, and they have moved from their countries to newer locations to continue their career. And this is what we are proud of. This is what we are always proud of. I will show you our wall of fame maybe towards the end of the presentation to show you where people are coming from. But for today, we will be listening to one of them who her name is Titilola Shittu. Fatima will read her bio soon, but she would be telling us about her journey, and hopefully you can learn one or two things from her as well. Then I hand over back to Fatima.
Thank you so much, Wally. Titilola graduated from Olabisi Onabanjo University here in Nigeria, and then she went ahead to take the HackBio internship with us. And after that, she got an admission into the University of, please correct me if I'm wrong, Bourgogne, right?
Yeah, you're right.
In France, and that is where she's running a master's program. So I will let her do the more of the talking into how everything is from the journey in HackBio during the internship, what she experienced, down to how she was able to gain the admission into the university. So please let's give virtual claps to Titilola as she shares her journey with us.
Yeah, thank you, Fatima. Good evening, everyone. So, my name is Titilola, like she said already. Okay, so I think I'll start from I studied biochemistry in Olabisi Onabanjo University. Yeah, I graduated 2022. Yeah, so what actually pushed me towards the computational aspect? It started from my undergraduate days. So my undergraduate project was based on computational. I would say computational biology. Yes, I did molecular docking for my final year project. So that was like the groundbreaking foundation for me. Yes, it opened me to, because during the process I got to know about bioinformatics. I also got to know about drug discovery and things like that. So along the line, I discovered HackBio. So I participated in the HackBio internship 2024. Yes, and I think it was around September. Yes, ending of the year. That was the cohort I joined. Yes, and my experience was actually really nice because I had only taken some online courses and just read about some things, but my experience in joining HackBio was like very practical, away from the things that I've read. Like for instance, I was able to like learn the basics of R, which was something that I was like a complete novice. Yes, I remember when I started, I was like, wow, how am I going to cope with this? I was always having issues and things like that, but I just knew that no. But I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because data science is something that like I used to have my eyes on. So now having the opportunity that, okay, yes, probably this is just a place where I can pick up R. So yes, I just had to push myself and make sure that, okay, yes, then along the line, working on projects, yes, that's also something that was very interesting for me. Yes, I really enjoyed working on projects. And also another thing I also enjoyed about my cohort was we were paired in teams. I don't know if it's still like that. Yes. So along the line, I was able to like work with people, and the people I actually worked with, they not everyone was Nigerians. Yes, I worked with other people outside Nigeria. So it was, and we were all of different discipline. Yes, we had people. Yes, because I remember the teams where sometimes we work with people in the machine learning track. So it was, even though I wasn't in machine learning, most times when we work together, I have a look at what they are doing, and it's always like, okay, yes, I don't know machine learning, but yes, I had an idea of what they were doing because we were all working together. So yeah, it was very great. Yes, it was a nice experience. And one thing I'm very, very grateful to was the project. Yes, the project is something that, yes, it's actually, I know, yes, it's put me out there because it's not just a thing of word of mouth. Yes, it was something that, yes, I did this, and yes, I could actually show that, yes, I did it. So it was, yes, it was a very good evidence for me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Titilola. That was brief, concise, and it was clear. And we're actually happy that the project was one of the key things that pushed you ahead. And please, if you have questions, you can signify or you drop them in the chat. And before that, I want to go back to Wale because there are some people that do not know how they would position themselves, like, okay, after the internship, what next? Or I don't know anything about R or bioinformatics, what will I do? So I would want Wale to just talk about how HackBio offers that support and what we have in store. So Wale.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. So like Titi has said, our goal is not just that you come and you get another certificate or you learn something online, right? We want you after learning to be able to connect it, to be able to first to own the project you did, right? It's important that you can own the project you did. But much more importantly, it's also important that um, you ask you can connect that project. You can use that project to chase after what you want in life, right? So maybe you want to go for a master's program, you want to go for a PhD, you want to get a job in a biotech company, you want to uh, whatever you want to do, right? We don't have the answers to everything everybody wants to do, but as long as you're in the biotech sector, as long as you're in modern biotechnology, life sciences, I think we have a space for you. And one of the things we are offering now is the one, not just projects. So if you join us, you have to complete a project as part of your, it's not important for your certification, but it's important for your personal self-improvement because you get exposed to more problems. So when you now solve these projects, so what next? First of all, um, you would have to have a CV, and then we encourage you to apply, to go out and apply. And of course, we also always provide recommendation letters to people who want to uh, uh, go in this regard, who want to find good application. So first of all, it's important that because the project is where we really hold on to. Because if we can say we supervised you on this project, blah blah blah, we can. So it's more like we are confident to say that okay, we know this person. We worked on a scientific project together. I can't just say, oh, I met someone on the street and then I'm recommending him. No, it doesn't work that way, right? Nobody will believe you. But it's more important that if I say that this person, we've worked together, we've done research together, and this is the evidence of what they did, this is the evidence of what they did, this is the problem, this is our solution in the end, and these are the learning points that we learned from this. And I believe that what she did, if she or she is given better environment, better research facilities, they will be able to even do more, given the kind of research facilities in your campus. So these are the kind of things we also offer.
All right, thank you so much. Please, we'll be moving on to the question and answer session. Please, if you have any question, can you signify before I move on to the one that I have with me here? Yes, please, you can speak. Sylvia. Sylvia,
Um,
are you there?
just a minute.
Okay, someone is asking, as a part 3 student of microbiology who is interested in furthering in genetic engineering, is there a relationship between bioinformatics and genetics engineering? Is there a course offering for it in HackBio, and how can I join the internship? This is to Wally. Wally?
Yeah, just a moment, please.
Okay.
So, first of all, yeah, between genetic engineering and bioinformatics. So, genetic engineering is really, how do I say? It's really wet lab. It's a wet lab experience, right? Sorry, Fatima, I sent you some message. Can you check also?
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
so about genetic engineering is a completely wet lab experience. Nevertheless, there are some things that, so we don't provide wet lab courses because we are remote. However, genetic engineering depends on some tools in bioinformatics, especially when it comes to like designing primers, designing these kind of things. We don't provide courses for this because they are ground level things in bioinformatics. They are not exact applications of bioinformatics. They are off target. How do I say? They are low level. No, I don't want to call it low level. They are not the exact. So if you do genetic engineering and you generate a lot of data, then you bring it to bioinformatics, then bioinformatics can analyze it. We can analyze data from CRISPR, we can analyze data from transposon sequencing. I don't know what technology you're using, but any of these genetic engineering things these days, they generate a lot of data. You can also generate sequencing data, and then we can analyze it all together in bioinformatics.
All right. Okay. 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 So this one is to Titilola. Someone asked that, what was your level before joining HackBio? Like, what prompted you to join HackBio? Were you already confident in coding, or did you struggle at first?
So no, I had my coding experience was very, very basic. Basically, I'll say there was a time I was doing like front end development, yes. So I know what a code syntax is, yes. But I'll say I was still basic, yes. But I understand like, okay, this is how a code syntax looks like. But I was completely beginner level to R. So I started from
Okay.
scratch.
Someone else
And
is
it's
asking that, which specific skills from HackBio helped you the most in securing your master's in France? Like, what part of HackBio the skill helped you the most?
okay, so I'll say basically it is the R because I think I was in the track that had to do with where I can't remember my track honestly, but I was in the track that had to do with we worked on RNA sequencing. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. I thought that screen was frozen. Okay, so my track basically, I can't remember the name of my track, but what we used to do was do like RNA sequencing and things like that. So the kind of courses I applied to when I was applying to France, I was looking at courses that had to do with like computational biology, drug discovery, because I also have like a drug discovery from my undergraduate. So I was focused on those kind of aspects. And so I'll say because of the RNA sequencing knowledge which I already had and the projects, because my projects were included in my CV, it actually gave me an admission in computational biology. Yes, but I didn't go for that. Yes, but yes, it was very useful. And I want to believe that it was because the project, my CV clearly stated that okay, yes, these are the projects that I worked on. So yes, it gave me an edge.
All right. Another question is that, when did you start preparing for your master's application? Was it during the internship or before or after the internship?
So it was after the internship. Like I said, my internship was, if I'm correct, I think it was September to November. I think it was around that period. So it was around December, November, December. Yes, after the internship, I already had an intention already that I was going to apply for grad school. So it was after it's more so moving into 2025. Yes, I was sending applications and things like that. Yeah.
Okay. How did you choose the university or the lab or the professor you're able to that you're working with, or like how did you choose that?
Okay, so I think I understand this person's question. For France, basically, it's you don't code mail professors, maybe like countries like USA, it's quite different. So if you want to apply to grad school in France, you apply directly to the universities. Yes, you don't need to code mail. I think the for code mailing it is maybe if you want to do PhD in France, but for masters, you just apply directly to the schools.
Okay. Someone someone is asking that how did you stay consistent during the program because they've heard that it could be overwhelming at times.
Yes, it was actually overwhelming. Um, but I would say maybe because that period, I actually did not have a job that period. But even though I didn't have a job at that period, it was still overwhelming to me. It was overwhelming because I would say for the fact that I was like a complete beginner to it, so I was stuck in most parts, and I just had to like most times I just look at the time and I'm like, I just have to finish this. I'm committed to this, so I just have to finish it. But yeah, it was overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah, because we have different people from around the world, different time zones, and like you said, we still have the team. People are grouped in teams, so it can be difficult. But at the end of the day, teamwork makes the dream work. So someone is asking that this person needs a general advice on bioinformatics. This person plans to do MSc bioinformatics at Queen's University. This person graduated last year, BSc biochemistry as well. Any tips about school? What skills should I build? Basically anything, like any advice you can give to this person.
Okay, so if the person is already in HackBio, I'll say the person should take the project very serious. Yes, when you have your project, when you're also building your CV, also make sure that you have to like mention it in the experience section. Yes, obviously. Then try to like create a special category in your CV for projects. So this was what I did in the project section. I didn't just mention that okay, I did maybe like okay, I worked on glioblastoma. I didn't just write it there in the project. I wrote it there. I also like described a bit of what I did on that project. Then I also included a link, which is to my GitHub, because I believe that if you are working on a project and probably in the coding aspect, yes, you are going to have like your GitHub. So try to like attach your GitHub link also to each project. So when you list the project and you do like a little description, try to attach the link so you never can tell. Whenever they go through these CVs, they may actually be more curious and see that okay, let them click on the link and even see, and if they see it, they may be more impressed. So that's something that I did. Can you run through the question again?
Okay, basically the person said he graduated with BSc in biochemistry and wants
Okay.
to do masters in bioinformatics at Queen's University in Belfast. So the person is just asking about the skills the person should build, like skills or tips, maybe application tips, the
Okay.
CV parts and all of those things.
Okay, so I already mentioned for the CV parts. Something else I would also like to mention is because so when you're talking about bioinformatics, I believe that most Nigeria curriculum, most of us, especially biochemistry, yes, since I did biochemistry also, we were not really taught computational stuff back then. Our modules, yes, our coursework does not cover. So another thing you can also do is to like take some online courses, for instance. For instance, something I did, I went to Coursera just to a way to like improve it that okay, yes, it's not in my transcript, But yes, I took some online courses on Coursera. So I think there's a course called Genomic Technologies. Yes, I took something like that. I also took some courses on cancer, yes, oncology, to show that, okay, yes, I have a bit of knowledge on oncology. So you can also want to try something like that to like add to your transcript, because I believe that when they see your transcript, they might not see anything directly relating to bioinformatics, but from the skills that you might be getting from HackBio, you
So
can
you
also,
can.
yeah,
Sorry,
are
I
you
think
saying
we continue, Titi, sorry.
okay, so from the skills that you'll be getting from HackBio, yeah, I don't know the track you may be interested in, but there are different tracks. If you go to the maybe the track that has to do with R, obviously you are going to do RNA sequencing. You would also learn a bit of like some data science tools, like how to like maybe create, what do they call this stuff? Like plot graphs and things like that. Yes, you may also learn things like that. But the major one, which I believe that you pick, is probably the RNA sequencing, which is like a big and a major skill in bioinformatics. So with that, you can also include that then probably like the Coursera or Udemy, I don't know, whatever platform you want to check. Also include that just to like away from your university transcripts. Then what else would I say again? I think that's basically it. Yes. It's
Okay,
like
someone. All right. Another thing is someone is asking that I've heard that when you ask for recommendation, you can get recommendation from HackBio. How did that help? Recommendation from HackBio.
so it really helped. It helped because at the point I professors back in university, yes, used to also help me. But at the point, I was even stuck. Like, it wasn't responding to me. So I remember I came to Wale and I was like, I need a recommendation. Like, I need to, it needs, it's this kind of recommendation. There was a program I applied to, all these kind of recommendations where they send the link to the person. You don't get to see it, or you don't get to just upload the letter. Yeah, so it was those kind of recommendations. So it was very helpful, like, and I believe it's HackBio, yes, and it's bioinformatics experience, because the recommendation letters that my professors, obviously from school, would have written is based on biochemistry. But for the fact that some of the programs I applied to are like involving bioinformatics and things like that, so HackBio was able to like cover the aspects of my application. Then my professors from university, they were just able to just cover my general biochemistry experience. So yeah, it was very helpful.
Okay, thank you. So another question is, how did you write your statement of purpose? I think a lot of people have issues with that. How did you write your statement of purpose? Did you write your statement of purpose and how?
Yeah, so my statement of purpose basically, my statement of purpose basically is really I like to call myself a storyteller. So basically that's what I did with my statement of purpose. I narrowed my journey entirely, right from, like I said, my first experience into computational aspect of like in life sciences started from my undergraduate days. So I narrowed my journey basically. But from away from narrowing my journey, I also had to like start with like a problem statement to make them know that, okay, yes, I'm not just chasing an extra degree. There's a reason why I want an extra degree. Then with that, I was able to like build my story and let them know that, okay, yes, I started from here, also did this. Then just to show that, okay, yes, this is someone that, yes, she knows what she wants, and she has actually, over the years, she has actually been working on it. Yeah, so it was like my CV in a more expanded form, that kind of thing. So
Mm.
yeah, that was what I did.
Okay, and that question is, did you do any interview? And if yes, what feedback did you receive during the interview or from the supervisors?
Yeah, so I did one interview, and it's only one interview I did. Yes, I was actually admitted to that program, and before the end of the interview, I knew I was going to get admitted. Like the professors, there were two professors that interviewed me, and they were very impressed. And that program is the program that I said is computational biology. but I didn't go for it. So like they were very impressed because like one thing I said is which HackBio for the fact that these projects, okay, some of them we worked in teams, yes, but another thing I also want to mention is that if you were working in teams, try to be active also. And don't just be like, okay, you are just in the team, you're allowing other people to do it. So this was something that actually helped me because in this interview, obviously they had seen my CV. So most of my questions were relating back to the projects that I did in HackBio. So they were asking me questions, but I could speak on them. And I noticed they were very impressed. Like when they asked me a question, I could explain. They'll ask me what this process I could say about it. So yes, before the end of that interview, I knew from their expressions like these people were going to get back to me. So yeah, it's also HackBio was very important. Yeah.
All right. Before we move to the other questions, Richard is raising his hand. I think he has something he wants to say. Please go on, Richard.
Yeah, hi. Titi.
Hi, Richard.
I remember you from your internship. Yeah. Congratulations. And from what you're saying, you didn't just get an admission to one program. It means you had a lot of admissions, but you chose the one you are pursuing now. Now, my question is, per our experience with the interns that we've been guiding, I think when it gets to a point, most of them go mute. But for you, it wasn't like that in your case. I really remember how active you were. But the thing is, with these things, when you get to a point, you get stuck, like you feel like giving up. I want to know if you also felt that same kind of energy and what you did to keep pushing because it can't always be easy. Yeah. So how did you go about that and what can we learn from your experience? And also, last one, how did you make good use of the mentors in the internship? Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I'll talk about the first question, yeah, the first part of your question. So yes, I was also stuck. Yes, I was also very stuck. But like I said, I knew maybe because before I came to the internship, I knew what bioinformatics is. I knew like the importance, I knew the value. So my head coming into it was fine, even if I'm tired. I know what I'm going to get out of this, which is why I just had to like continue pushing. And like I said, R was something that interested me. Like I was like, this is an additional skill because I noticed even people that are not in life sciences, I hear some people saying Python R whenever you're going to R grad school is something that yes professors are always impressed by things like that. So I was like, this is an opportunity for me to even like learn it. Why not just hold on to the opportunity? So yeah, I think that was like the major thing that was just pushing me that okay, yes, there's a value in what I'm doing, that I'm not just doing this internship just to get a certificate. I really know what I want. So for the second part of your question about the mentors, ah, I think I don't really think I was like in like very like strong bonds with the mentor. I can't remember who my mentor is. Yeah, I can't remember who the mentor for my team was. But one thing I know that I used to do then is whenever I get stuck, yes, I always like try to come on Slack and yes, I know I was always doing that. I used to come on Slack and my questions, like just put them on the timeline. I remember there was even a time that I even had an issue. Yes, I had to jump on a call with Adewale, and he was like looking at my code base with me and things like that. So yes, basically, I wasn't just sticking to one mentor. Most times, whenever I have a question, I just put it out there, and sometimes even my fellow interns that actually respond to me. Sometimes they just help out, and sometimes any other mentor just help out. But I can't really remember who my team mentor was. But yeah, that's it.
All right. Thank you so much. Another question is that what was difficult about the transition from Nigeria to France in terms of the academics? Like, what part of it was difficult?
Hmm. So it's quite like basically education in France, I'll say their system is weird, and I don't know because when I was in Nigeria, okay, 100 to 400 level. Yes, I know when you are in 100 level is always intense because you have a lot of courses. But as you go down, move to 300 level, your courses reduce, then also your lectures reduce basically once you are rounding up your program. But like I was expecting that okay, a master's program is like an advanced program. But a master's program here in France is like it's very intense. We go to school like most my program, for instance, we go to school Monday to Friday. Sometimes I have classes till 6. That's how intense it is. So like sometimes I just sit and I'm like, when I was even doing my bachelor's, like I wasn't going through so much, but the coursework and everything. But I'll say on the other hand, yes, for the fact that it has on the aspect of like wet lab, I've been able to like pick some wet lab skills that I couldn't even pick back then in Nigeria. Yes, that aspect is something. I'm also open to like internships and things like that. So yes, the environment is quite different. Yes.
Okay. Another thing is, if you removed bioinformatics from your profile, how different would your application have looked if bioinformatics was not there?
My application won't have looked very different because I don't know if I mentioned it. I also have I have skills in molecular docking, yes. I also have skills in molecular dynamic simulation, yes. So my experience was not just I have some other skills, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
So
was sorry, Tony. I think what she
yes.
meant was if you remove all those molecular docking, molecular dynamics, because it's still part of bioinformatics, not
Yes.
just what you learned at HackBio, everything altogether at bioinformatics, you remove it completely.
Ah. Oh, I thought you meant what I picked at HackBio. Okay, if I remove
No,
basically
no, no.
it's
Like
just be
generally.
basically okay, I have some wet lab experience also. Maybe I didn't mention that my NYC I did quality control.
Mm.
Yes. So I think what would just be left is my wet lab experience.
Mm.
All right. Another one is in France, is bioinformatics optional or is it becoming foundational?
Yes, so there are programs that involve like yes, even my program, sometimes my professors like they mention it. I had a class was in on Friday and they were talking about transcriptomics and things like that. Yes, we kind of delved into it, but it wasn't like the core of what we were doing. So yes, it exists and yes, there are also some programs like standalone programs that yes, it's just bioinformatics. So yeah,
Okay.
there's like there are opportunities.
Okay. Okay. If someone wants to strengthen their master's or scholarship application, what would you tell them to start doing today, especially regarding the internship?
I'll say start as much as possible to start building the experience. Like I started building my experience from the moment I graduated because I knew what that yes, I was like going to further my education. So I started building my experience like from and right now I notice like if you are very active on LinkedIn, there are like so many opportunities you can even use to like I see so many and I'm always like okay different trainings, different kind of internships that you can even participate in, like just to build your and obviously if you are doing this kind of things, try not to just learn it, try to like work on things which you can always reference back to. So yes, there are things you can look out for. Just have to start looking for maybe trainings, internships, yes, try to join them.
All right. Okeoluwa's hand is raised. Okeoluwa, you can speak, please, before we move on. Okeoluwa. Okeoluwa.
Yeah, I have to unmute people before they talk. Sorry.
Okay.
I can't
Okay.
find the person's phone number, the
Ok-
person's ID.
Okeoluwa, it's Okeoluwa. Okpelu has A34 or something.
I think he said it was a mistake. Huh? I think it's a mistake. The person I saw a message in chat and I said it's a mistake.
Okay, all right. What tips do you have for the interns, like, or anybody that is interested in the internship? What are the tips you would have for them to complete the internship too? Like, any tips?
Okay, so one thing I used to do back then also is whenever I was stuck, there are some on YouTube. Yes, there are channels on YouTube also. Like whenever, maybe if you feel like you're not still getting it, you can always like go out of the scope of HackBio, get into YouTube, watch some additional videos, just to like give you more understanding if it's that you're still struggling with it. That's something that you can always do. Yeah, it was very helpful to me. And then also try to like ask questions. Try to ask questions. Never had tell the people, since you are working in teams, there may be some people that even have like maybe past, or maybe they've worked a bit on things like this. Try to like ask them questions if they are doing things like, or they do things and probably like you are trying to like read the code base, for instance. Try to ask questions. Why did you do this? Like, don't just believe that, okay, yes, this already exists. Like, if you really want to like understand what they did or why it is that way, just try to ask questions. And if you're stuck, also ask questions on Slack. You get the response and things like that. So yeah.
All right. The final question from what I have here is that what would you do differently if you were applying again? What would you do differently if you were applying again?
Hmm. What I would do differently is maybe I would have, before I signed up, I would have tried to like add like a bit of foundational knowledge in R than just coming with like zero knowledge and everything was just magical. Yes. I would have tried to like gotten some foundational knowledge at least, or maybe just watch some videos about basically about R, because that was my major struggle then.
Okay. We have someone, Sylvia. Please, can you talk?
I have to also look for but I think Sylvia's question, according to her, it's not about
It's not about the
it's not about our speaker. It's more about the internship. I can't find that anymore. Can you
okay.
raise up your video so that
Okeoluwa
it flags you?
says he wants to speak. So Okeoluwa, please go on before I go to the next questions in the chat box.
Okay, so there are two Opolua now.
Okeoluwa's A34.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Wale. Thank you, Fatima, and thank you, Titi. Let me just call you Titi. Sorry. My question is, your program is it a 2-year program or a year? And are you also going to be doing a lab work, a project? Like, have you started your project, and what's it about? Can you talk a little about it, and so we can maybe learn a bit? Have you started working on it? Yeah.
Okay, so my program is a 2 years program, and I'm just 6 months into my program, basically. So for the 2 years program, for the first year, there's an internship, which is 2 months internship. Then for the second year, there's 6 months internship. But the interesting part of my program is my program has 2 tracks. Yes, so it's innovative drugs. But apart from the fact that it is innovative drugs, there are 2 tracks. One track focuses on radiopharmaceuticals, and the other track focuses on nanomedicine. Yeah, so it's like nuclear medicine and nanomedicine. Yeah, so for projects, I've not started my internship yet. Most of my coursework just has to do with like molecular imaging. Yes, we do PET scans, MRI, and things like that. And then on the aspect of nanomedicine, um, it's called that aspect covers immunotherapy, yes, and we also cover like biologic drugs. Yes, we cover this thing, monoclonal antibodies and things like that. So yeah, that's basically it.
Interesting.
Okay. All right. That's great. So I have a question that is I will be directing to Wale before I move back to Titi. So someone is asking that in most of the courses and trainings, the Pakistani are not eligible. Can you include us in the future trainings?
Okay. So we don't discriminate based on
Yeah.
countries. Usually, I think our last the last award winner from us was from Egypt or Morocco. I'm not sure. So we actually insensitive to. We try as much as possible to be insensitive to time. Most of the mentors are spread all over different. At least we try to cover a lot of the time zones. It's difficult to find highly qualified people, but I mean, Richard is here. He tries to shift his mentor meeting time now to the daytime for us. I mean, sorry, to the daytime for people, not really daytime, but it's like after work hours in India, Pakistan, and like the big, and even China. Yeah. I think I know Japan is a little bit extreme. We have a student from Japan and we have to have special considerations for her. But eligibility, nobody is excluded from HackBio in principle. Nobody is excluded.
All
Maybe
right. So
maybe
basically,
she can expatiate on what she means by eligibility.
yes, can you talk about the eligibility? Is it that the requirements for HackBio or probably because for one thing about HackBio is no matter the time zone, we try to work with your time. We have students from across the country, the world, so we try to work with your time. If the timing is what you mean, you are highly welcome. But if it's another thing, you can actually just type it out for us so that would understand better. Now, this question is for Titilola. Someone is saying, out of curiosity, since the schedule is quite choked, how do one make money? Families and friends have high expectations monetarily. How do you get around that? Can one work and earn money as you study?
Okay, so I would answer this. So, for I remember I said the period of when I was doing my HackBio internship, I didn't have a job, but I actually had a job when I graduated. Yes, I worked also. Yes, there were some trainings I did. Basically what I was even doing, the job I got was out of scope from my degree. Yes, basically I was doing something outside of my degree. But if you can get a job, just try to get a job. it's it doesn't stop that you're chasing two things, yes. Because what I was doing was I was basically chasing two things. I was working on something completely different away from life sciences. But in the meantime, I was taking some courses, also doing trainings and still relating to life sciences. So if you can juggle it, yes. I don't know how intense your schedule is or
Mm,
if how you can make a plan, but I was able to like juggle it. Yes, I was able to juggle. I had a 9 to 5 at the points, and I was still doing things, trying to like actively build my experience on the
yeah,
side.
yeah, I think what the person meant was, while now that you're in France, because you said you have to go from morning to evening to classes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. When I saw family and friends, oh, okay, family. I understand. I understand. So, okay, yes, maybe I didn't mention it. So I actually got funding in the long run from my program, yes. So when I joined the program, I had no idea that there was an opportunity. Like it was like the first month we resumed, yes, and they were like, there's an opportunity for scholarship and things like that. So yeah, I applied, and the interesting part of it was like they wanted in the requirements it was clearly stated that they want someone that has like international experience. Yes. So I think that also gave me an edge because I remember in my scholarship motivation letter, I wrote it there clearly because I knew like I was like, okay, if they're looking for international, I don't want them to like look there, okay, Nigeria and things like that. So when I was talking about trying to like detail my HackBio experience, I mentioned the day that I worked with team members in different time zones to make them know that yes, this person is not just she has worked with here. So I made them like I stated it clearly. So with that, I've been using that to like sustain myself, and also yes, their jobs also less. I know people that work.
Mm.
I know people that work. You can get a job. The only thing is for like I think for the second semester, like for second semester currently, the workload reduces. It's not as much, and weekends are there. You can use weekends to work also. So it depends on the program. Like I said, some programs may not be as intense as this my program, yes. But for my program currently, the second semester is not as intense as first semester. This first semester was a lot. And another thing about France is that you cannot miss classes. Attendance is very serious. If you miss one class, they'll send a mail to you the following day, like explain why you didn't come to class and things like that. So it's not easy, but people do it. Yes, people do it. So it's very possible.
All right. That's so you can work and you can study at the same time, depending on how you're able to manage your time.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Yes,
Can I ask
Wale.
you a question? Can you let us know the name of this program? I like it very much. Maybe there are other people who like to apply for uh, um, sorry, they want to apply for scholarships, and maybe they can definitely think about this one. Since it looks like you've given HackBio a good rep there and bioinformatics.
Yeah, it's innovative drugs, University of Burgundy, Europe.
No, I mean the scholarship program itself.
Oh, okay. So the scholarship program is attached to like it's attached to the grad school. The name of the grad school is in therapy grad school. Yeah, so basically you can only apply when you get admitted. But it's not only for this program, it's like for certain other international programs under the grad school. Yes. So
Mm.
when you get admitted, they only open it when they've admitted, and it's even when school resumes. Yes,
Oh,
that's when. So I had no idea also. It was when I resumed I saw that, oh, there's an opportunity.
okay. Okay, thank you very much, Titilola. We really appreciate you for your time um, and sharing your experience with us. I think if people have learned quite a lot of things now. And of course, for those that want money, you can also get money with bioinformatics. They can fund you in principle. Um, I would like to share a few things before we close. Just quickly. Okay, so yeah, I said I would share this in the end, which is where our past interns are, and of course this keeps increasing every year. Um, so I just want to emphasize again that HackBio is not just a course platform. It's not for you to just get another certificate. It's not, we are not just there to collect the money. We have a job. We feel we have a responsibility to make you become a better life scientist and to improve your career in life science. So our goal, like I said again, is not certificates, but it's to give you competitive positioning. So, for example, you've heard about when Titilola, I always mix it. Titilola mentioned that the fact that she worked with different people at different time zones was kind of enough proof that she's an international candidate and you should not play with her, something like that. So this is the kind of things we like to hear, and this is really what we are striving to do every time, right? Those kind of experiences, the opportunity, the things that you can say in the future, and someone will say, this person is worth our investment. This is what we want to give to you. And so like I said, it's not just about certificates. What we offer is real project experience, evidence of independent research, reproducible and traceable research. Okay, it's not, you can't just, anybody in the world can say, oh, I've done this research, I can do this, but can they trace it? Is there any evidence that you've done this? Also, ability to communicate your research findings clearly. You also heard from Titilola when she was saying she could answer the things because she did it, right? And she could respond to whatever questions they have. And overall, our goal is to improve your technical competence. In the end, you might not end up doing bioinformatics or computational biology, just like Titilola, which I'm very sad that she declined the computational biology part. But yeah, it's good. She's interested in innovative drugs, right?
Yeah.
So this is also very interesting. It's one of the things in modern biotech and biopharma these days. So I'm still not sad, but I'm sad, you know. So basically, in the end, we want you to be clear on what you are bringing to the table when you are applying. You know, what are you bringing to the table, right? Everybody wants to invest in potential, not nobody wants to invest in liabilities. So yeah, what are you bringing to the table? And HackBio helps you clarify that. Okay, right now, HackBio is experiencing some renovation, right? So we initially we only offer internships, but now we want people to be able to come. So for example, Titilola said she needed probably experience in she could have learned R before joining the internship. Now we want to give people the opportunity to be able to take, for example, that R as a prerequisite before you join the internship, because it can be very intensive. Moving from basics to project level, it can be very, very intensive at times. We all know that, and we know that this is also but this is the case in real life settings, and there's really nothing we can do about the work culture out there. So we kind of have to prepare you for that. Okay, so you can take these courses one at a time at your own pace. If you also have if, for example, you already develop your experience in R and you want to probably get better in data science in general, or you want to start a full career path in computational biology, or you want to become an AI biomedical scientist, you can already begin to do that through what we now call the pathways. We call them career pathways. So it's targeted towards a specific learning objective or a defined career path. Okay. And then finally, we have internships, which you probably know already, which is basically pathways plus mentorship. And this mentorship, we have really structured it in a way that it can probably cater for every time zone in the world. And it can, at the same time, you can reschedule to your own time in principle, because we are meeting every day, even weekends now. We will still have another mentor meeting later today with a mentor. So yeah, we try as much as possible to be flexible, to be to adjust to the demands of work and the current skill demand, in the technical skill demand available in the world. Yeah, I enjoy you to visit our website, check out our courses, check out our pathways, check out everything we are offering. And I would also for sure drop the link. Of course, we would also send letters to your mails to you after now with this recording and the resources we are sharing with you. And finally, I would also like to announce our upcoming internship, which is AI in genomics. AI is becoming very important to our everyday lives, and biology is not left out. So we'll be doing some practical things and projects in AI. So we would like to invite you. And of course, like we are saying now, previous experience in Python might be useful for you to join this internship. But nevertheless, we encourage you to try and join. It starts in April, and we would be sending you, of course, further information about this so you can prepare ahead. Thank you very much. I'll hand over now back to Fatima to close.
Thank you so much, Wale. Thank you, Titi, for sharing your journey and for taking the time to answer all the questions. Thank you so much. Please, I want to use this opportunity to correct the notion. We accept anybody from around the world as long as you're interested in bioinformatics. And one thing about HackBio is that every internship, what we do is different from the past. If you took an internship previously, if the topic was like the previous internship was on cancer, the last one was on another thing. Now we have something else, and then we have AI. So the internship is moving as the world is changing. We're not stagnant. So if you have the notion that HackBio is not accepting applicants from some parts of the world, that is wrong. So finally, thank you so much once again, Titilola, for joining us. And thank you to Wale for explaining everything about HackBio. Thank you so much to everyone that joined today, because without you, we'll not be here. Your presence matters a lot. And I want to say, if you're really serious about your career progression, please visit HackBio website. The link is there in the chat box. Take your time to review the options and choose the pathway that aligns with your goal. If you have any other question after this session, please send a mail to contact@hackbio.com and we will happily respond. Remember, this is HackBio to the world. Your journey does not end here. Thank you once again for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your time. Bye, everyone.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Titi, for
Thank you.
honoring us.